Stop! Don't hire a mover until you've watched this short video on scams movers are going to play and how they'll swipe your money before you know what hit you. Stay tuned. First of all estimates should be done in person. Here's one of the biggest scams of them all. This should be a red flag. If they want to phone in or email you an estimate just by having a conversation over the phone. This is their perfect excuse for them to say after they've loaded your furniture that it exceeded the time estimate, it exceeded the weight estimate, and there was much more furniture and work involved than what they thought over the phone. And it gives them a perfect excuse to jack up the estimate based on the fact that, hey, I never saw it. I did it over the phone and it was just a conversation. That's one scam you need to be aware of. So all estimates need to be done in person. If you're moving out of state, ask for the moving booklet of rights. This is federal law that a mover that's crossing state lines provides you with this booklet. If they don't have it, that's a pretty good red flag that they're not a reputable company, and run. Don't walk away from them. Here's another red flag. Look at their truck. If their truck is a big piece of that should be a huge red flag. I mean, come on, you're really going to load all of your personal belongings onto this horrible, dilapidated truck that's going to get flagged, it's going to break down, and guess what? When their piece of shit truck breaks down, they're going to add more fees onto you for storage or what have you. They're going to make every excuse possible on why the delivery wasn't made on time, and they're still going to charge you for having to hold on to your furnishings and your personal belongings longer than they anticipated. When the delay is due to their fault, not yours, they're going to make up mumbo jumbo like the cubic feet exceeded the weight estimate, or they'll throw some technical terms out there to try to throw you off on why they need to charge you even more money than they originally told you in the estimate. So after they jack up the rates, if you don't agree to pay them, now they're going to hold your belongings and your personal belongings hostage and refuse to unload the truck. All the while they continue to charge you by the hour until the issue is resolved. Now this is their way of basically continuing to jack the rates up on you and holding your stuff hostage. What are you going to do? At this point you want to get your stuff, so most people just pay the extra money. Another red flag is for them to ask for a deposit when they're loading up your stuff. A deposit, they have all of your stuff. What more of a deposit do they need? They've got all of your personal belongings loaded up in their truck, and now they're asking for another deposit? That should be a red flag. No deposits. Your stuff is the deposit. Red flag, another red flag, they ask you to sign a contract that's partially filled out. I mean, come on. Did you sign your contract when you bought or sold your home? Were there blanks in there on broker fee and closing date and price? Of course not, because somebody could go back that was unscrupulous and add in additional terms and conditions to the contract. That's exactly what they do when you sign a partially filled out contract. They make up the rules as they go along, and here you have a legally binding contract that they can provide to their attorney and force their issue with you. So never fill out a partially filled out contract. Another red flag is their name on the truck. Is it a rented truck from somebody else? Is it a third party? Who are you actually doing business with? So most reputable companies have their own trucks and their names are on the truck. That should be a red flag as well. Hey, what about the tip? Here's an easy way for them to add 20% onto your bill is they start pressuring you to tip the workers that unloaded the truck. This should be included in the price. They're not employees of yours. You're hiring the mover. You're not hiring their employees. So when they start asking you and putting statistics out like the industry standard is 20%, you need to ask about that in advance and work that out in advance, because 20% of a $5,000 bill is an extra $1,000. And once again, if you don't agree to it, they want to hold you hostage. And then also they want you to pay in cash, and you're not individually paying the workers, you're paying the superintendent. You have absolutely no way of knowing if that money even made it into the workers' hands or not. Which brings me to another issue when they start demanding cash. Never pay cash. You need to have some sort of a record that they have been paid. Here's a couple of tips for you. If you've got something that's really valuable or sentimental and it's smaller, never leave that inside of your house. Pack those things individually and take those things with you, because these things, they have access to your things, and if you don't know these people, there's absolutely no way, and there's such an overwhelming amount of things happening as you're moving into your new home. It could be months before you realize you have valuables that have been missing. And here's my bonus. I always like to leave you guys with a bonus. Here's a bonus. When I move, what I do is I sell all my furniture. If you've got pieces that are family heirlooms or valuable or sentimental to you, I understand you having to move them, but many times it's cheaper just to sell your belongings in the state you're in. For example, if you're moving from Florida to California, it's probably cheaper for you to sell your belongings here and buy new when you get to your new home. When you start looking at the thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars that you spend to move your junk, your used furniture, all the way across the country, it just makes sense to get the money here, sell your furniture here, and then when you get to your new destination, buy new furniture. Well, they'll deliver it for free. So do the math and see if it's really worth the risk, especially when you look at the scams that happen in the moving industry, and especially considering that they can actually hold all of your stuff hostage if you don't pay to their demands. I'm Vince Arcuri with Better Homes and Gardens Real Estate, and you can reach me anytime at 813-VINCENT, 813-846-2368. Be careful with those moves.